Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Good afternoon, madam. You are clear enough.
Okay, so allow me some time. Let us wait for 5 more minutes. Let others join, and then we'll start with the presentation, today's lecture. Will that work for you? A very warm, a very warm welcome to all of you. So we may begin our today's session, and we'll be discussing the operational guidelines of Chandigarh Startup Policy. So, is my screen clear to all of you? And can you hear me clearly? Please respond. Please show your response once.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So, first, I'll give you the brief about what this startup policy is all about. Chandigarh has recently, last year in month of April, they have released their startup policy. And with this policy now, they have come with the operational guidelines this year. That means we are moving forward with the implementation of this startup policy. Now, talking about the implementation, there are a lot of things to be done, but we have started with the guidelines and we'll be moving forward for taking up the applications in this Chandigarh startup policy this year. And the policy tells you about what benefits and how much support you can get from UT administration in the startup domain. So we'll be discussing basically about the eligibility criteria, how you can apply for any grant or reimbursement, and further what are the stages and what kind of grants are available for the startups of Chandigarh region. So this will be the entire presentation, content for today's lecture. And I may begin with the eligibility criteria for the startup. What eligibility does startup needs to have for getting into this, for availing the benefits of this policy? So, firstly, the startup should be DPIIT recognized. The startup needs to have that certification of DPIIT. Further, startup should be incorporated either as private limited corporation, LLP, or partnership firm. And the startups, if any startups annual turnover is more than 20 lakh per annum, they should have a GST registration in Chandigarh. So that means you need to procure a GST number of Chandigarh region for getting benefits from of this policy. And the outlet of your office and or factory should be of Chandigarh region. So you should be having the address proof of Chandigarh region. Then only you are eligible for this startup policy benefits. And if the turnover of the company is above or greater than 100 crore, then you are not eligible for this policy. Another thing is, in the eligibility criteria, there is clearly mentioned that there should be no overlapping benefits. Suppose there is any other scheme in any other state, and you are applying for the same scheme, for the same innovation, or for your startup or for your project from any other state under any scheme, then you won't be able to take benefit from this policy because there should be no overlapping in this format. I hope the eligibility is clear with everybody. I shall move forward with the application process, how you are going to apply for this, for availing the benefits, for availing this, for getting the support from UT. Firstly, you need to do the online registration at Start in Chandigarh portal. Soon, I think in maybe in a month or 15 days, we are going to launch Start in Chandigarh portal. So that will be available in the public domain. There you need to make an online registration. How you are going to do that? You need to, as I already discussed the eligibility criteria, you need to put your documents there, and that document will be verified by the administration. And after the verification, an unique ID will be assigned to you after complete verification of the documents, valid documents. So unique ID is utmost important in this policy. So now onwards we'll be focusing on unique ID. That should be with you if you want to have any grant from this. If you want to go for any reimbursement, unique ID is must. Another thing in the application process is you need to be linked with any recognized incubator of Chandigarh region. So there are the incubators, there is the list of incubator that will be with the administration. So among those incubators, you need to get linked with any one incubator. Pardon me for this. You need to be linked with any incubator of Chandigarh region. And in this application process, there are various schemes. Idea grant is there, seed stage grant is there, early growth grant, and reimbursement. So whichever thing you are applying, you need to select that scheme, and then that will be evaluated by PMIC. PMIC is Policy Monitoring and Implementation Committee. This committee will be formed under Startup Cell of Chandigarh Administration. See, in this whole policy, there is going to be one nodal office under Department of Industries, which will be inside Chandigarh, which will be taking care of all the applications that come. So that particular nodal office is known as Startup Cell. Under Startup Cell, they will be having a committee or various committees, and one of the topmost committee will be Policy Monitoring and Implementation Committee. So they will be evaluating your applications. So if you select a scheme, then the response time of evaluating your initial evaluation will be done in 15 days. In case there are any deficiencies in your project proposal, then they will return the application to you, and you can modify your application, you can revise it, and you can submit it within 15 days. Otherwise it will be withdrawn. They will not consider it if you cannot submit it within 15 days. So in 15 days they will share their first response with you. In case there are any limitations, or there are anything is not as per the format, then you can resubmit the application in 15 days. And the applications will be approved by PMIC, and the funds will be disbursed through the parent incubator. That's why I during this in this slide I put emphasis on recognized incubator. You have to get linked with any incubator, because whatever money comes in for whichever scheme you are eligible and you are applying for, you need to be linked with any incubator so that the amount gets disbursed to that incubator. Is this clear till now? Application process and eligibility. Any questions? I would like to have questions in between also if there are any queries. Okay, I hope everything is clear, because I didn't get any response. So let's move forward with next slide. So what is the process of grant based benefits? Before proceeding with this particular slide, I would like to let you know that there are two types of benefits that UT administration is offering. One is grant based, another is reimbursement. So first we'll discuss the grant based benefits. So in this, what process you need to follow? Firstly, you must be registered in Chandigarh Startup Portal. That means you should be having unique ID with you, and then only you can submit the application. After the application submission, the whole application will be vetted by startup cell, which I already discussed with you. Startup cell will be uh, they'll be creating an assessment committee quarterly, and the assessment committee will be evaluating all the applications as per standard evaluation criteria. The standard evaluation criteria, there are set of questions in annexure 1. When I'll be sharing this policy with you, with the policy draft and operational guidelines with you, in that document you can check the annexures that are attached. In annexure 1, basically there are basic informations. You need to fulfill those requirements, and you need to fill those information, and then the application will be checked, evaluated, and then approval will be given. So startups need to present their idea, their startup business plan before the committee, and then only you will get the approval for your presentation or whichever grant you are applying for. So as I told you that there will be two type of benefits. One is grant based, another is reimbursement based. In grant based, there are three types of grants that can be availed. One is idea grant, another one is seed grant, and third is early growth grant. So first I'll discuss in idea grant what kind of benefits you can get, how much money can be directed to a startup through this administration. So there are going to be the idea grant will be given to 70 startups per year, and further they will be given monetary benefit also. They will be given an incubation support. So how much money you can get in this idea grant? First, top 20 participants. Firstly, the annual grant competition will be conducted every year, and it will be conducted under the aegis of startup cell, and they will be having a committee wherein they'll be having the representatives from incubators, higher education institutes. They will be doing this grant competition, and After completion of this grand competition, top 20 participants will get a benefit of 2 lakh rupees, and remaining participants like 21 to 70 will get the funding of 1 lakh rupees. So this all will happen through this annual grand competition, and money will be disbursed in two trenches. Trenches means like in two parts you will get the money. In first, there are conditions for each trench. So in first trench, a tripartite agreement should be signed between a beneficiary. Now, who is beneficiary? Startup will be the beneficiary here, and the agreement should be between startup, the incubator, and Chandigarh startup cell, Chandigarh administration. So after this agreement, then only first tranche of amount will be given to the startups, and second tranche of money will be given upon the initiation of incubation agreement. If you are see, now you have signed the tripartite agreement. Now you need to initiate the incubation. Whichever incubator you are interested in, you can go for the application, and that initiation of incubation program needs to be presented before the committee, and you need to show what have you done with the first tranche of money, the milestone, the review of entire like the money, how you have spent first tranche of money, that you need to show, you need to produce the documents, and then only second tranche of money will be released. Is this clear till now? Any questions from anybody?
Yes, ma'am. I think एक question है.
हाँ जी, बताइए.
Gursimran Kaur ji, did you have a question? Ma'am, if you are speaking, we cannot hear. You are muted. Okay, maybe not.
Okay. So let me continue with the seed stage grant. Seed stage grant.
Ma'am, PPT is not shared.
Okay, just a minute. Okay. Now I'm moving forward with the seed stage grant. Now, seed stage grant is basically a grant given for the startups who are working on minimum viable product prototyping, a seed stage grant where you need to produce documents for developing a product, a service. So for this, they are allocating a fund of 7 lakh rupees to 20 startups per year. So every year, 20 startups will get a 7 lakh grant for doing MVP, for doing prototyping, for making a product for their startup, and also strategizing how they can enter into the market. So that fund can be utilized for doing all these things which I have already discussed, like creating your product, developing your product, market entry strategies, and other related things. So seed stage grant will be given upon valid incubation agreement with UT recognized incubators. So you have to get yourself incubated in Chandigarh region, and then only you can apply for this particular grant. Now coming to early growth grant. Early growth grant or commercialization grant, it again goes to 20 startups per year, and the amount that will be given is 20 lakh rupees for each startup. So 20 startups will be selected and they can avail this grant. So what requirements are there to get this grant? You need to show any two documents which are mentioned here in blue color, like either you need to have a product validation report wherein you will show that product has been validated, it has been tested on any real scenarios, real world scenarios, on any consumer. That report you need to show. You need to either show a report where you have done the pilot study, study in in the actual environment, real world environment, and you have gathered feedback from the consumers. Or you need to you can produce TRL assessment report, at what stage your technology is really, like it should be about TRL 4, and you can give that assessment report also. And further, you can also give a document of go to market strategy. What are your plans for entering into the market? What timelines are there? How much time you are going to take for scaling up? So all these documents are needed in this fourth point. So any two documents are required, but these two documents should be certified by your incubator. So that is the thing to be taken care of. It should be certified from your parent incubator. And regarding the funds, in idea I told you that it will be fund will be released in two tranches, but for seed and early growth grant, the funds will be released in three tranches. First, 25% of fund will be given, then you need to produce utilization certificate that should be attested by your incubator. And after that, you will be given 50% of grant, and finally the remaining 25% will be given after you spend all the two trenches, the money of two trenches, along with the utilization certificate. I hope grant is clear with everybody, how you can get grant from UT administration, those who are registered here in UT. And for those who do not have any plan of getting incubated here in Chandigarh, or who are not a startup incorporated in this region, I'm sure in your state also there must be startup policies or any schemes by the government. You need to check with those. As I recently have seen, Assam has recently released Assam has released their startup policy. Gujarat has their own startup policy. Maharashtra has their own startup policy. Andhra Pradesh has their own startup policy. So you can check wherever you are applying, wherever you are registering your company. Maybe you can get benefits from the government of that particular state. So this particular policy is related to Chandigarh startups. Anyone who is interested in opening a company here in Chandigarh, you can avail these benefits. So now coming to the reimbursement. Now reimbursement is an another sector where incentives are given to the startups, but the condition is you need to be DPIIT registered, and a startup operating in Chandigarh region are only eligible to apply for this reimbursement. So two things: DPIIT recognition, and you should be operating in Chandigarh. Then only you can apply for reimbursement. Following is the reimbursements that are given. So, number one, reimbursement of rental for co working space or office space. So, anybody who has taken an office here in Chandigarh, either it can be co working space or a separate office on rent base or lease base. So, you can apply for reimbursement. Up to 5,000 per month for 12 months will be given as a reimbursement, and this is going to be one time money that will be given, like only for 1 year you can apply for the reimbursement of rental spaces. So, and policy, the duration of policy is for 5 years, and in these 5 years you can only once apply for this. That means one entire year will be reimbursed under this category. So what kind of documents are required? You need to show the rental agreement, and you need to show the payment, proof of payment and receipts for having that rented space. And those will be assessed, evaluated, cross checked by PMIC committee, and then only they'll give you approvals for getting the amount reimbursed. Reimbursement for IT certification and quality certification. Many of these startups require certain certifications. So if you are applying for certifications and you are a startup of Chandigarh region, you need to be careful that if you are applying for certification, you should prefer from government accredited institutes, because if you have the certification from government accredited institutes, then you can claim for the reimbursement of up to 1 lakh rupees. So 1 lakh rupee reimbursement will be given for the certifications. And in this there is one clause: the preference will be given to technology based startups. So those startups which are working on any technology, deep tech startup, hardware, biotech, or any other startup related to technology, they are eligible for applying for this reimbursement. What sort of documents are required? You need to produce the document of the certificate for which you are seeking a reimbursement, and the payment proof. Reimbursement for patent filing. So if you are applying filing a patent, then you can reimburse the cost of up to 10,000 rupees per patent. And again, your startup should be tech based. The preference will be given on tech based startups. Here the documents that are required is the copy of patent, like there is a copy of published patent, so you can or application, you need to produce that, because I know the patent grant is a lengthy process. So if you have applied, you need to save the you know you need to save that application copy of that application, and you can produce that document. And the money, that payment that you have made for that patent filing, you need to produce that document, and then you can apply for reimbursement. Coming to the very important aspect, conferences, workshops and other engagements. I know startups are always looking for opportunities. They do networking, they try to they try to avail the opportunities, or they want to explore many arenas. They want to just showcase their product services at larger scale, and they are looking for such platforms. So if you are if you have attended any conference, workshop, you can reimburse that amount, 50,000 for any national level event, and up to 2.5 lakh for any international level event. So what kind of documents are required? Uh, you need to prepare a report, basically, where you are mentioning how that conference or workshop or event has added value to your startup, how it made your startup grow. So that report should be with you while claiming the reimbursement of that particular event. And the expenditure proof: travel tickets, accommodation, fee that you have paid for that conference. So all these documents are required, and you can apply for reimbursement. What can be covered in this? You need to take care of the below mentioned line: economy airfare. You should be having only AC train, and mm, like three-star hotels. Two employees from each startup can go for a conference, and they can claim for reimbursement. And in a year you can go for one international trip and two national trip for attending any event. Acceleration program, it's a very important for startups. I always encourage startups to get linked with any acceleration program. And especially for those who are at, and it is meant for the startups who are at growth stage or beyond, like going for commercialization or scaling. So those startups who are they are looking for more orders, more expansion, they should get associated with acceleration program. It's not a very big program. It usually is a program of 3 to 4 months, where you get a vast exposure of networking connects. They get you connected with customer, they get you first orders. So there are a lot of acceleration programs internationally also and nationally also. Internationally, you must be knowing Y Combinator is a big company that that every year they do an acceleration program. They basically do only acceleration programs. And in India also there are a lot of acceleration programs run by NSRCL, IBM. They do a lot of acceleration programs. So when startup is at growth stage, they should get connected with such programs. And you can also claim for reimbursement. If it's a national acceleration program, 2 lakh, you can claim for 2 lakh reimbursement, and for international 3 lakhs. So what documents are required? Whenever you apply for any acceleration program, there needs to be some outcome why you have done that program, why you have attended that program. So what outcome is there, what output you got from that acceleration program. So that report should be with you while applying for reimbursement. And again, the expenditure, what expenditure has happened, you need to produce the documents, so then you can reimburse the amount. I hope both things are clear: grant and reimbursement, how you can claim and how you can acquire funds from UT administration. Is it clear for everybody? Because I'm closing with this, I have completed this part. If there are any questions, I can reshare the screen and uh, show you the presentation. I'm open for taking questions. Please let me know if there are any questions. So, can you please let me know how many of you are Chandigarh based startups? Or how many of you have incorporated your company? Yes, Surita Basu. May I know at what stage you are right now?
Yeah, actually, we are in a very initial stage, and we are actually not going for this technology driven.
Mm-hmm.
And moreover, we are not. I'm not from Chandigarh, so just I would prefer some Delhi based. I'm in Delhi, so I'd prefer Delhi based. All these uh, grants and reimbursements, because that's specifically for UT, and Delhi is difficult.
Okay, okay. So, since I told you the gist and entire
Mhm.
story of how you can apply for
Yeah.
Chandigarh schemes. So, are there any feedbacks? Like, can you give any input the things that I already delineated before you, like the grant they are providing, the reimbursement amount they are providing. What is your take on this? Like, how do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
how do you find
yeah,
this? Will it be
yeah, it's
helpful
good.
for the startups?
Yeah, it is helpful. It is quite helpful, especially the reimbursement. I found it very interesting because generally you don't get reimbursed. You get startup grants, or you get low cost loans, or you get everything. Like those things are very common.
Hmm.
This reimbursement are mostly in research, because for startups going for conferences, more like conferences are more scientific rather than business networking.
Hmm.
So you getting reimbursement for going for this kind of thing is like a nice thing.
Okay. Okay.
That was something new to me, because I had no idea that you get reimbursement for starting a startup and going for any travel for organization or for workshop.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
most of the conference and workshops are mostly scientific.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something good. That is something new and something very interesting, actually.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for your input, and really appreciate if others will also share their point of view on this Chandigarh startup policy, because as I told you, it's still under implementation stage. We are working on making a portal, Chandigarh startup portal. As I have already mentioned, that every documentation will be done on that portal. So having your inputs at this stage will be really beneficial, because we can propose to the UT administration, and maybe we can get it improvised. So be
So
you
are
be
there Yeah. Yeah. Are there any kind of this, like most of this are like like if we go for some website development or something like that kind of startup, are there any inputs or something that can help in this kind of startup?
sorry, please come again. uh, can you
Like if we
please
start
say?
some like website selling or something, that kind of startup,
Mm-hmm.
rather than technology driven and manufacturing startup,
Mm-hmm.
do the grants are equivalently implemented for this kind of startup also? Because most of the startup what we are talking here, I have seen, are mostly technology driven startup, where like you are going for the TRL and that. Now you
Mm-hmm.
go for something website like a small scale, like, then do these grants are implemented for them also?
Yes, yes. See, it's so there is no sector specific grant in this particular. I'm talking about this particular policy.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
sector specific grant is there. So even if startup is service based, or they are working on, like as you have mentioned, websites, and dealing with
Mhm.
other service related platforms, so they can
Mhm.
also apply for this, because only few domains are restricted to technology. Rest of the grants, like seed, idea grant, early growth grant, any startup can apply for that. It can be service based, product based, hardware based, deep tech, fintech. Any startup can apply for this. And let me tell you, Chandigarh administration is very focused for fintech startups, because we have limited land at Chandigarh. So we promote fintech startups here, and service based startups, because as we know, less infra is required for service based
Yeah.
and fintech startups. So we do promote that startups also, and they can get grants for this, for their services. I
Thank you
hope I
so
have
much.
addressed your query,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay. Let me hear from another participant. Yes, Shan Mogul, your inputs on this?
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you for this wonderful information and presentation. Chandigarh administration provides quite wonderful, and it's quite provoking to start a company in Chandigarh. I am based out of Coimbatore, and I am also looking for opportunity to start some industries in Chandigarh. Already, I was working with the NILM technology.
Okay.
So this is quite interesting thing.
Okay. So right now, have you incorporated your company? Is your
Ma'am,
company incorporated?
it's like incorporated. as a MSME in Coimbatore as a proprietorship I have done.
Okay.
So I understood that proprietorship is not eligible for grants and other things.
Right,
That's
right.
information that I. So I'm also looking for other opportunities to move into type of company that I can. I'm also looking for the partnership kind or private that I'm working with my CA.
Mm-hmm.
So shortly, I will let you know once this product is being finalized and once I see the roadmap, I think I'll go ahead with the next phase of
Okay.
the process.
Okay. I'll be sharing both of the documents. See, there are two separate documents. One is policy document, another one is operational guidelines with you. You can go
Okay.
through that document also, and if in case you have any queries or you have any inputs, you want to suggest anything with respect to the policy, then feel free to write to me, and I'll be glad to propose those changes to UT administration. Since you
Sure, ma'am.
people are associated with startup, you have seen this journey. Even if you are at very nascent stage, I understand, but that also is part of a startup. So
Yeah,
startup has to come from an idea. When there is idea, then only you can build something. So
exactly.
this is also a journey, and your inputs will be really valuable. So thank you for giving your sharing your insights on this. I want to hear
Thank you,
from
ma'am.
Dr. Ravneet. Uh, what is your take on this? I hope you were clear with the lecture and you got to know what Chandigarh
you,
administration
ma'am.
is, yes, helping
Thank you,
startups
ma'am.
with.
I could hear a little bit because my class is going on. The time was clashing, but at least if I have something, I will really get back to you.
Great, great. So I'll be sharing document with everybody on Google
Hello.
Classroom. Vasvi Chaudhary. Hello. Okay. Vikram Singh. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. May I know,
Here
can
you
you
go.
give your a little brief about your startup, like at what stage you are right now and how you are moving forward with this?
Only idea stage.
Okay.
That only if I can be registered in Chandigarh
So you are
hosts
looking for getting
and
registered in Chandigarh? I have lost your voice. Hello? Hello?
my voice is not that much clear. I'm
Mm-hmm.
audible now.
Yes, yes.
Uh, Let me see if it is a cost effective. Then I will definitely start in Chandigarh.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I have to go out of Chandigarh. It
Okay.
more most probably it is a technology. I means fintech.
Mm-hmm.
So let
So currently you are based at which place?
it to develop that infrastructure. Your information is very good, informative. I'll use it if I'll go to there. And
Okay.
thank you.
Um, thanks, Vikram. Uh, Anybody else having any question? Yes, Bhupender Singh, are there any questions or you have any input for our Chandigarh startup policy?
Bhupenderji has given a comment in the um,
Okay.
Messages section.
I am sort of visible in the strategy to fit this kind of service in market. See, bioinformatics is a very growing domain. It is capturing the entire attention these days, and I need to understand in more depth what sort of resources you are looking for. Like if you are looking for any expertise help, you want to partner with any of the academician. So I need to know what kind of resources you are talking about. If it's related to the infra or related to any softwares you are looking for, then we can do some collaborative work. I can get you connected with firstly we have a good network, academic network, good pool of academicians with us, so we can get you connected with them. And if you are looking for any industry partner, again we need to see what specific thing you are looking for. So industry and academic connections, we are ready to help you with that. Besides, you need to also present your idea, like a rough idea, like what you are looking for, what thing you are working. And we need to also check the competitors. Competition analysis needs to be done. If anything related to this work is being done, or anybody is doing same kind of work, then we can see how we can fit in the market. So all these assessment needs to be done. uh, Maybe a meeting can be scheduled to understand uh, deeper about your idea and to know what specific help you are looking for. HING performance computing and associated infrastructure. HING performance, I'm not well versed with these technical terms. Maybe we can sit and we can discuss and we can get you some expert uh, opinions on this. Okay. Yeah, okay, got your point. So you want to enter into the market with your idea. So something needs to be developed. So if you are creating maybe a software or uh, any model, you have any model with you, which you want to provide to the higher education institutes and hospitals, maybe using that for further analysis and for further you know studies. So that should be with you, at least an idea, and then we can move forward with that particular idea. So this is what I can say. Firstly, we need to develop that idea. And for you, I can suggest that you should be this time this year you should be presenting your idea in the annual grant competition and start exploring. And then at that, if you get that momentum in your startup, then we can move stage wise. So start with the idea grant competition. There you can present your idea, and further we can refine that idea and make it into the tangible product. I hope I have answered everybody's queries. Soon I'll be uploading the both the documents and PPT on your Google Classroom. please follow that, and feel free to share your inputs or your queries on WhatsApp or Google Classroom, wherever it's convenient for you. Thank you, everybody, and all the best for your upcoming startup journey.
Thank you, ma'am.